Prosecutors in France have opened a terrorism investigation after a police employee was stabbed to death at a police station near Paris. The 48-year-old administrative worker was reportedly stabbed in the neck by a man who was then shot and killed by police at the scene. French President Emmanuel Macron said his country would never give in to what he called Islamist terrorism.
A normally quiet residential area just outside Paris, now the center of attention in France. Security agents flooded the area investigating the killing of a police employee that occurred in an unlikely location. The police station is very well protected. There is a protective lock, and so people can't just walk in. So the attacker waited for her to go and change her parking ticket. The murderer caught her by surprise as she left the police station for just a moment. And so it was really a cowardly, barbaric attack to kill someone and to kill a policewoman. Local media report that the attacker was a 36-year-old man with no criminal record. Some witnesses say they heard him say Allahu Akbar, Arabic for God is great, as he stabbed his victim. A police officer then opened fire on the attacker, killing him. There are suggestions the man had previously scouted out the site. The Office of the National Anti-Terrorism Prosecutor has taken charge over the investigation of the crimes committed here. The reasons for this are, first, how the events occurred, which involved looking for a target. Also, the way the crime was committed, the profile of the victim, but also the remarks made by the perpetrator at the time of the crime. President Emmanuel Macron paid tribute to the police worker whom he identified as Stephanie. In a tweet, he said the nation stood by her family. He added, "In the fight against Islamist terrorism, we will not give up." Islamist terrorism is again a worry for France, and even the police are a target.
Straight to Paris then, where we join journalist Catherine Field. Welcome, Catherine. Bring us up to date. What more do we know?
In the last few hours, police have gone into the home of the assailant, not far from the police station in Rambouillet to the southwest of Paris. We also know that they're carrying out a search of his previous home, which is in eastern Paris. Police have also taken into custody for questioning 3 of members of his close entourage. We understand one of those could be a family member. In the meantime, police also say they have his mobile phone. They're going through that to see what sort of links he may have had in the last few hours before this attack took place, whether they were links to jihadist organizations or anyone that can give them some sort of clue as to where this man was coming from, what he was doing, who were his accomplices, if indeed there were any, because this is a man who was not known to the security services. He wasn't known to the intelligence services. So they're really just fumbling around at this moment to try and put together a picture of what actually happened in those minutes before this attack took place.
And this is now being treated as a terror attack. So what difference does that make in terms of powers of arrest and the way that the investigation is handled?
It means that the anti-terror prosecutors can call on the French domestic intelligence unit. It means that they can have much more wider scope for being able to draw in other witnesses. They can hold people for longer. And of course, they have all this other information to hand that they've had, unfortunately, from other attacks. There's been a spate over the last 5 or 6 years of attacks on very small police stations and homes of police officers in the Western Paris area. So they'll be able to get all that information together very quickly and try and find out, once again, what went wrong that an armed attacker was able to get through the front door of a police station and stab to death a police employee.
And what sort of place is Rambouillet where this attack happened?
It's a very quiet Little suburban town, really. It's about 60 kilometers southwest of Paris. It has a fast train service into the French capital. So the sort of people who live there are generally families. You can have a very small house with a little small garden. The area is also known for having a beautiful forest, a lovely chateau. It's where you would really go to get away from the sort of hustle and bustle of the city. And I think that's why the scenes that we're seeing tonight in Rambouillet are just so shocking, because people are wandering around the street saying, how could this have happened in this quiet, sleepy little commuter town where everyone has always been known for being friendly and law-abiding?
Thank you for that, Catherine. Journalist Catherine Field in Paris.
Thank you.